double play there.
No problem.
Which I don't do too often.
Sounds good to me, man. How's it going today?
Pretty good, man. Well, tell us about this U10 Egg Harbor Township Babe Ruth softball team. You guys are off to the World Series. Got to be quite a thrill for these girls.
Yeah, this is a potentially once-in-a-lifetime experience for these girls. They've worked super hard all year, and we've had a great season. We basically won every game all season long. Most of these girls were on my rec team, not all of them. And then we won our district tournament, and then we came in second in states, which earned us the bid to the World Series in Florida next week.
So what's it like coaching a bunch of 10-year-olds?
Most of the time it's fantastic. I enjoy this as much as anything I do, so this has been a fantastic ride for us, and it's a lot of fun. Most of the time they are absolutely fantastic.
Now, at what point did you guys get this team together? Have you been going for, like a month or so?
The All-Star team, we had tryouts in late April, and we started slowly because we had our rec teams. We were just practicing like once a week for a bit, and then we started full bore about late May.
Oh, wow. So you've been going, 6-7 weeks now.
Yeah, and ever since late May, we've been going pretty hard. We've had 3-4 days a week, sometimes even more with games. And it's been a pretty good commitment, but it's been, like I said, it's been a fantastic ride so far, and I can't wait to get to Florida.
Are you surprised at how well this team has done? I mean, I guess you never know at this age group kind of what you have and how they're going to respond when they start playing a pretty competitive schedule.
Well, the competition has definitely increased since we started the All-Star schedule, but I told our parents, I coached the All-Star team last year, and I basically told our parents, we'll probably get through districts, and when we get to states, most likely that's going to be the end of the road for us. But this year, I told our parents, ever since we started working out in winter, in January, we have a good chance to go to regionals in the World Series this year. I knew we had a very good team. I was hopeful that we'd be able to get this far, and luckily we did.
John, do any of these girls have older siblings that have gone through, the high school program?
I don't believe any of these girls did, but we are the second team ever to make it to the World Series from EHT, and one of my girls, I believe her uncle was the one that was the coach of that team in 2012.
Oh, okay. Kind of a hotbed for softball here, Egg Harbor Township. At least it's turning out to be the last couple of years. Obviously, I'm sure you're aware of the high school team winning the state championship this year. How much of that trickles down into the lower levels when you have a town like this where the high school team is so good? They've gone 66-5 in the last 3 years, and I'm sure there's a ripple effect when you get down into the 12s, the 10-year-olds.
It definitely starts at the youth level. If the girls are coached properly when they're young, then they build a passion for the game and they continue playing when they get older. These girls on that high school team, they've, like you said, they've had a great run, but they weren't terrible players when they got to high school. They didn't just magically turn it on. They've been playing their whole lives, and again, it definitely starts at the youth level. That's where the coaching, how it begins.
Talk with John D'Agostino. He's the head coach of the U10 Babe Ruth softball team at Egg Harbor Township. Now, John, when is this World Series, and what's the process been like in trying to get down there? Obviously, there's a lot of expenses to take care of and scheduling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we head down. Our media day is next Friday, so we will be heading down on Thursday. And, this has definitely been there's a lot of expenses involved. We have a GoFundMe page, and we've been doing everything we can from local businesses to try to raise money. Obviously, like you said, this is not a cheap trip for all of our families, so we are doing everything we possibly can to raise money.
So if there's anybody out there listening today who wants to contribute a few bucks, how can they do that? How can they find that GoFundMe page?
The GoFundMe page is on Facebook under any parent that's on our team has posted it. It's under, they could ask me on John D'Agostino, or my wife has posted it, Maria Elena D'Agostino, or they could send any donation to Egg Harbor Township Youth Softball, which I believe, they could send it to EHT, and they could send it directly to my house, which is 6 Villanova Court in Egg Harbor.
So, John, when you got to this stage, when you found out you were going to be able to make it into the World Series, what was the reaction of the kids?
The reaction celebration was fantastic. The first, we had to win one game to clinch the regional bid, which we had to beat a very tough team from Point Pleasant, which our girls were super excited. And then we had the game that clinched us the World Series bid was actually one of the more incredible wins I've ever been a part of. The game was tied in the bottom of the sixth. We were the visitors, so we were in the field. The other team had bases loaded, 1 out, and a 3-0 count.
Wow.
And somehow we got out of that just to get to extra innings. And then in the top of the seventh, we scored 3 runs. And in the bottom of the seventh, we gave up 2 and had second and third, no outs, and somehow got out of that also. It was absolutely incredible. And my daughter, who is one of the least emotional people you'll ever see on a sports field, she's basically indifferent half the time, which can be frustrating, obviously, at times, was crying after the game. She was so excited. It was a great moment. It was about the happiest I've been as a coach.
That sounds like a classic 10-year-old baseball or softball game where there's 7-8 runs scored in the last 2 innings and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of our games are low scoring because we have good pitching and defense, but this particular game, that wasn't our strength, and we were very fortunate to win that game. It was awesome.
John, are you surprised at how skilled the pitchers are even at this young level? I mean, these days, these girls are getting coached from probably the time they're 6 or 7 years old to be pitchers. Obviously, if a parent sees any kind of talent in the pitching department, that's the route you want to go as a softball player in terms of as you get older into high school and possibly getting a college scholarship. So that's really a big focus of softball is the pitching, and you got to have that solid 1 or 2 pitchers, even at that level, to advance into these regional, state, and World Series tournaments.
Overall, like I said, the pitching has been much tougher than what we faced during the regular season. The team from Hamilton had some outstanding pitching. And our team has hit the ball reasonably well against when we first faced tougher pitching, we had some trouble, obviously, but we have been hitting it decent, and but there has been some spectacular pitching overall that we've seen as we moved on.
John, what's the pregame hype-up speech to a bunch of 10-year-olds?
Well, I don't know. Right now, it's just been, like I said, we did everything we could to get to this point, and now it's just all gravy from here. Getting to the World Series was the ultimate goal when the season started, and we're going to be facing obviously the best teams in the country, so we're going to go down there and do our best and just kind of see what happens, really.
Now, when you get down to the World Series in Florida, what's the schedule like? I'm sure you're going to want to do some fun things with these kids and, give them a little bit of break from the softball every day. What kind of things do you have planned?
Well, we don't have our schedule released just yet. I don't know if they've finalized the number of teams, but it's going to be something like I believe the first day is just check-in. The second day we have a scrimmage or 2, followed by opening ceremonies, which will be fun. And then I believe we're going to play either 3 or 4 games in pool play over the first couple days, and then then the bracket play starts after that. And we haven't really planned anything yet because I have to wait to see what our schedule is like. But I definitely want them to have some fun while we're down there too. Even though we are trying to win some games, I definitely want this to be a great experience overall for every girl on the team.
I'm sure it's going to be a great time. I mean, what do you have, 12 or 13 girls on the squad?
Yeah, we have 12 girls, yes.
So a dozen 10-year-olds for 4 or 5 days in Florida. You got your work cut out for you there, buddy.
Well, fortunately, I have great parents on the team too, which will help out in that regard. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
It's got to be fun for you seeing these girls as they're having so much fun and learning the sport and that kind of thing, and just being around these kids. I'm sure there's a lot of funny moments, and you kind of see the kind of things that they're into, the music, the games, and all that kind of thing. Yeah,
I mean, we definitely have a couple characters on the team, but every team has a couple girls that are very quiet and a couple that are a bit louder, and they build together. Yeah, I've been coaching most of these girls for a couple years now, and watching them grow and watching them improve has been fantastic. Our first season together, we weren't very good when I took over, and ever since then, we've just been getting better and better and better. And we have a great group of girls overall.
Awesome, good stuff, John. We're up against the break. Got to let you go, but we appreciate you taking a few minutes, and good luck down in Florida.
All right, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
That was John D'Agostino. He's the head coach of the Egg Harbor Township U10 Babe Ruth softball team. They're off to the World Series next week down in Florida, so good luck to those girls.